Today in London, police have arrested a group of teenagers for their illegal, unauthorised use of YouTube. Under the government's sweeping new social media ban for under-16s, they're strictly prohibited from accessing these platforms without constant supervision from the state. What were they caught doing? What was this criminal act? They were watching cooking tutorials. Absolutely shocking, I know. One of them actually tried to argue that it was educational content. Educational content, as if that's some kind of legal defense. The law doesn't care what you are watching. Does that sound completely unhinged to you? Yeah, it should. But guess what? That's going to be the reality if Keir has his way with the absolutely Orwellian under-16s social media ban, and I'm about to explain to you why. Look, I get it. I'm on social media all the time. I'm on X, I'm on Insta. I'm no defender of big tech, and I know how addictive these platforms are designed to be because I'm the target audience. But making sure that the government, the state, that can't even manage the very few responsibilities we've entrusted it, can't even manage those, and now we're saying that yes,
Keir Starmer is the perfect person to be in charge of your child's bedtime scrolling.
I completely get the frustration of parents who have to pry their smartphones out of their child's hands because their children don't listen. These platforms are designed to be addictive. In fact, when the government ran its Growing Up in the Online World consultation, they were flooded with over 116,000 responses because they are desperate for help. And I totally get it. I don't blame the parents because this is being sold as the compassionate and the only solution when actually it shouldn't be. To make this unworkable ban function, the government is essentially going to have to mandate rigorous, inescapable age verification across the entire internet that isn't just going to be impacting under 16-year-olds, it's going to be impacting everyone, including you, because social media companies can't tell the difference between a 15 and 16-year-old just by looking at someone's profile picture. This means digital IDs, facial scans, even uploading your passport to just browse the internet. And guess what? All of this is going to be for absolutely nothing because the ban is guaranteed to fail anyway, because you're trying to outsmart these 14 and 15-year-olds who are so much more tech savvy than some boomer who probably can't even function an Excel spreadsheet properly. Australia passed the exact same under-16 social media ban, and data commissioned by the Molly Rose Foundation found that more than 60% of Australian children simply continue to use social media anyway. But the kids who actually need protecting are just going to be pushed into the unregulated corners of the web. So when I was a child, I would go onto these unmoderated chat rooms. So you'd have like teenchat.com and all of these crazy chats where it's basically just pedophiles hanging around because they know that vulnerable children are on the internet. And these aren't going to be covered by the ban. I mean, Australia didn't even cover Discord as part of the ban, which I think shows how out of touch the elite are with what teenagers are actually using in Discord. If anything should have been covered by the ban, it should have been Discord. But this is the absolute joke because the same government that is pushing for this is also pushing for 16-year-olds to get the vote. How can the Prime Minister argue that a 16-year-old is mature to choose how the economy should function, where our tax money should go, how we should control the border, while simultaneously saying that they can't handle a 15-second TikTok reel? Like, you can't have it both ways. And actually, I think that there is something deeper at play here. Is it actually because the government is afraid of teenagers learning about something that hasn't been approved and sanitized by the educational establishment? Let's talk about the indoctrination that is actually happening in our classrooms, because education is compulsory until 16/18. And so we talk about the indoctrination that happens at universities all the time, and I'm going to be making another deeper, longer dive video on this. Make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss that, because that's going to be something that definitely is going to be worth watching, because university, is it worth it? Look at the National Education Union, which is the exact same union whose leadership passes conference motions declaring mainstream political parties like Reform UK as far right and racist, clearly showing their biases. And actually, I'm going to be going to the Educators Against the Far Right conference, and yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting some of the interesting teachers who are actually going to be indoctrinating your children, so stay tuned for that video as well. It should be mothers and fathers who are deciding what their children should be seeing on the internet, because clearly the government is so clueless and they can push indoctrination one way, but they don't want teenagers to be exposed to alternative views, which we're seeing on X. I mean, without X, half of the stories wouldn't even be breaking right now, because social media is such an integral part of how I get news and how my generation actually gets news. And Keir Starmer wants to take that away from young people. The state does not own your kids, and don't let them own your kids. I'll see you in the next one.